Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk, Thinker Right, out here in the lab. I do what I do for you. Today I got a good lesson for you. Let's get it started, all right? Right as in 25 Rules to Live By, storytelling, story with a message. Message is in the story for life. I give you life lessons. You tuning in and receiving them, I hope it's working out for you. You already know. Let's go. Right Thinkers mission, and yeah, I'm on it, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Get to know yourself a little bit better. Thank you. Right Thinker's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline, again, daily, will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is for you to do just that. Know thyself. I'm going to give you all the tools you need. All you got to do is use them. Let's go. Know thyself. Question you have to answer for yourself. But a person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard that. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. I got you. That's what I do. What I do for you. Stay tuned. A person who knows, and believe that they know, dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know is asleep. I can awaken them. I'm a spiritual alarm clock. I'm here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All this person, it resides in you. Right thinkers know thyself. And to my eye, be true. Today, we're going to talk about philosophical concepts. And if you have a philosophy is supposed to enlighten you, educate you, inspire you, motivate you to do better for yourself. So that's the purpose of a philosophical process or concept. So right thinking philosophy is a transformational philosophy that you can live with. Why? Because it's going to teach you how to be, show you what to do. All you have to do is follow it. Like all other dogmas, whatever. If you follow the tenets, it will work for you. TD Jakes. You work it. You find something that works for you and you work it. A philosophy that works for you that will transform you, you work that. Hence, right thinking philosophy. All right, let's talk about it. Right thinkers, let's talk about why right thinking philosophy is a transformational philosophy. When the philosophy you choose transform you, like right thinking philosophy did for me, that's the right choice. You made a good decision. And on the other hand, if you're following a philosophy, a philosophical concept that's not improving you, that didn't transform you, you got the wrong philosophy. It's simple. You can change your direction. You can change your thought process. You can change your concepts. You can even change your beliefs. But it's up to you to have the purpose and the reason and the wherewithal to do that. I live by my philosophy, and that's what transformed me. And you can plainly see I'm not the same dude I used to be. So transformation will be seen. You know a caterpillar from a butterfly, but you know once that butterfly used to be a caterpillar. We can be ignorant and you can become enlightened. Simple as that. But you need a philosophy to make that happen for you. The BS system, the beliefs philosophy, okay, religion, can and will transform you. Trust me, I keep making this point. I want to make this point clear. If it's practiced and learned correctly, it will do the job that it's intended to do. I never said it don't work. I just said a lot of people follow it the wrong way and really get it wrong and exercise their wrong concepts. And yeah, that's why I don't have a problem with religion at all. It's a way of life. Once you practice a philosophy, and if it works for you, you work it. If you're a Christian and you're working Christianity and it's working for you, you're a right thinker. If you're Muslim, same thing. But if you're not doing what you're supposed to do to make you that, you're not a right thinker. Put the work in. That's what right thinking philosophy tells you. Whatever it is you do, work it. Okay? When your philosophy, watch this, can be lived by anyone and it transforms them, that's a philosophy that works. AKA right thinking philosophy. And I was told, I don't taste good to everybody. Because if you're not in the process of trying to be your best self, aka self-discovery or knowing thyself, I'm not your man. Why? Because I'm holding you accountable to do that. And if you don't want to do that, I'm not the one to follow or listen to. I understand that. So all philosophical philosophies are intended to transform you. That's the purpose of them. But if it's mistaught, misinterpreted and misunderstood, and then misguided by living these nonsense that you think you got something, annoys those who know. Moi. But I have to understand, when a philosophy is practiced and it don't change you, you should stop practicing it. Right thinking philosophy job is to transform your beliefs into your belief process into a knowing process. When I follow concepts I didn't understand, I just was going along. They said this. I didn't put no work in. It didn't do nothing for me. And if you follow my philosophy and just have, it didn't work for you either. So trust me, it's all about the time, work, and effort that you put in is what's you're gonna get out of it. When it's spiritual, you have to put before you receive. A lot of people want to know before they know. It don't work that way. Well, if I do this, they're gonna do that. It ain't about that. You reap what you sow. Right thinking philosophy is, if practiced daily, what happen? Will bring you a positive change. A positive change will happen when you practice my philosophical concepts the way it's supposed to be. It's a can't miss deal. Why? Because you're in control, but you have knowledge of what you're doing. You have a reason and purpose, and you have goals. So now, right thinking philosophy is proven, is a proven philosophical philosophy of morals, principles that guide you to be and do what you need to do for yourself, and that will bring on a positive change in your character, in your personality, and people mostly will appreciate the change. But then again, the flip side of that is the people who like you the other way, they're not going to like the new you. They expect that from family, friends, whoever. Why? Because some people like the way you was, and if you change for the betterment of yourself, everybody's not going to be on board. Just a heads up. All right. Now, when you change your life, when you have that life changing philosophy, people go, "Oh, yeah, you're going to get some pushback. Accept it. Don't worry about it. Why? That's when you're doing something right. If nobody's worried about you, if the devil ain't out to do what he want to do to you, then you're doing his will already. He don't need you. He already got you. He want the ones who he want to work for him. And if you're a right thinker, he hate those kind of people. He tell you that. If you just take the mood out, my man, outwitting the devil. Yeah, he don't like individual thinkers. Simple. He likes drifters. All right, here you go. Excuse me. Now, with the right thinking, with the righteous living, you learn from practicing right thinking philosophy, spiritual disciplines daily. Your life will change. I'm guaranteeing that. If I told you to go to the gym and do X amount of exercises, work out, and in a 30-day period at the month, you should see change. Why? Because you put the work in. If you didn't do it, you said, well, I ain't yeah, same thing. Okay, this concept. Now, if you're a believer, and I ain't got a problem with that, but you're not a right thinker. Because to live on belief means you don't know. I can't live in the I don't know realm. No, don't work for me. I need to know. So that's the difference. A right thinker, become a right thinker and become a knower of what you're doing and yourself. I put a premium on knowing yourself. Why? Because without that, you really might spin in your wheels. That's why. We are born spiritual beings. That's what's in us. That's the spirit that's in us. We have to become, and he gave us this consciousness, aka free will, the ability to make decisions based on what's best for us. But without knowledge of self, it's hard to make a decision that's best for yourself. So that's the whole purpose of obtaining the knowledge, so you can use it to better and benefit from the decisions you're making with knowledge to make a better decision. They say we're born sinners. No, we're born in a sinful world because the things that we do here don't equate to spirituality. It's a physical domain that we're in. The body holds the spirit. The spirit is in the body. The body's in the physical world. It has to deal with that. But with conscious and knowledge and understanding, you can smooth through this like an eel through seaweed. Why? Because if you bog yourself down with feathers and problems, you're gonna suffer. If you believe in superstitious things that you don't know, you're going to suffer. That's why. With knowledge takes away the suffering of not knowing. Here you go. We are born spiritually. We have to become conscious of what our higher self, or aka God. With self-knowledge, you can transform, aka better yourself, like I did. When I was ignorant, I was doing whatever came to mind, whatever I thought would suit my fancy, aka willy-nilly, ignorant, ego tripping. The ego he don't care. He don't care. If you let him drive you, you're going to constantly have problems, aka fetters, all right, that you cause on yourself. Religions, now understand this. Where we at? Yeah, okay. Yeah. The spiritual truths of our ancestors gives you self-knowledge. Knowledge of self. Get the concept? So with that knowledge, that helps you to what? Know thyself. And with knowledge of self, you can live, do, and be your best self daily. Self-knowledge, again, is the only, like Jesus said, I'm the only way to the Father. Self-knowledge is the only way to get to God, aka your higher self. Without knowledge of self, without knowledge of God, you can't get there. You can say, I believe in him. You can claim to worship him, but you don't know him. You don't understand him. So you're really not a knower or witness of him. You're just a believer in him. And there's a lot of that going around. I'm trying to stop that because that's the biggest problem we got. If we knew God for ourselves, we just act different. We do less nonsense to each other. That's the start. Okay, but here you go. Religions. Religions have educational in them. Their dogma. They give you to learn ways to live, aka the Ten Commandments. Thou shalt not, thou shalt not. Okay, but my God is I have not. I don't want somebody to command me to do right. I want to hold myself accountable to do right. That's the difference in the religious dogma and the spiritual concepts of Maya and right thinking philosophy. We hold ourselves accountable to do what we know to do would be right for ourselves. That's how it's done. That's the inner workings of spirituality. Spiritual knowledge, again, having knowledge of self is the knowledge of God. Know God and know thyself. You can flip it, know thyself and know God. It don't make a difference. It works any way you want to do it. But the concept is do it. Like Nike. Just do it. And you can have it any way you want. I don't just teach right thinking philosophy. I live right thinking philosophy. It's way of life every day because it's my way of life that I've adopted and I'm mastering as I go. It's not a finished product. It's still being shaped. It's still formulating. Why? Because it's fluid. It's still going. Why? It changes as we go. Like science, you discover new things as you go. But the stuff, I'm telling you now, everything that they find out about the brain, the heart, and the body, ancients already knew that. Another lesson. Let's go. I don't just, did that one. Now, the right philosophy will what? Transform you. The right religion, it follow, will transform you. So I'm not just saying only what I teach, everything that has a philosophy that is transformable will do just that. That's the purpose. You just choose and pick the one that works for you. That's what I did. I keep explaining that. Why you don't care about none of them. I focused and studied what I know, what works for me. Again, choices. The right philosophy. Okay, watch this. That's the purpose of any philosophical purpose or concept. When you have your own God, aka the mystical experience that religious people don't get. Why? Because that's the third level of following a religion. First is the myth, second the ritual, third is the actual experience. A lot of y'all don't have that experience. Why? Because the way they had experience is righteous living. That's why a lot of y'all don't have it. That's why Cain didn't like Abel. Why? Because he wasn't doing the right thing and his brother was. And out of jealousy, another part, that's that ego. That jealousy will make you do some real strange things. You think money make you flip? Oh, you have no idea about that ego. So get back to this one. When you have your own God mystical experience, you don't need to be told about God. You know God. That's the part about my right thinking philosophy that you will have, that you can speak for yourself with your relationship with God. A lot of us try to force it, try to make it. No, it's a natural fit by doing just the right thing. You can't, the Kundalini won't activate if you're not living right. So you don't have to know about it. You can know about it, but if you don't do it, just knowing about it don't mean jack. Having knowledge and don't use it, same thing. When you become a servant of God, it's because you know him for yourself. Most of us, that's how it happens. Another lesson, I tell you about my experience, the epiphany changed my life, okay? Another lesson. Right now, let's talk about a philosophy, and I adopted one, and it did just that, changed my life. So to become spiritually enlightened is the goal of right thinking philosophy, right thinkers who follow the philosophy, is having God talk to you. Well, what you mean? He will make his presence known when you do the things that you're supposed to do. That's the reward for those who know. Those who don't, they can only hope, wish, and believe. Those who know had that experience. We're not crazy. Oh, God talked to you. No, no, no. How you know it's God? Again, those are questions from people who don't know. So understand that. To question somebody's understanding and belief in God is your problem, not theirs. And then it's their obligation to prove it to you. Well, not mine, but some people feel the need to. Well, I don't care. Next one. Okay, I got to wrap this up. See, I'm a witness of God's grace, mercy, and blessings. I'm anointed. I'm enlightened. I know myself. That's what happens from day to day. When you're living right and you're doing the right way, he will let you know. Trust me. What is that? Okay, yeah. I know if I can get your attention, I can enlighten you, inspire and educate you, hopefully motivate you to be your best self with what? Knowledge. Improve. I'm not selling a bill of goods. I'm just telling you the truth from my perspective and how I know it. I teach concepts that if you would follow and adopt, you can learn and find out for yourself if they work. When you, watch this now, perfect example. When your ass out, you done did everything you did and them not work, and you still end up ass out. We all been there. I've been homeless twice. So yeah, making life mistakes, can you end up out there? Okay, watch this. But now, when that happens in life, who or whatever helps you out of that state or that situation you're in, you're going to worship them like God. Why? Because of what they did. And if you are a true believer, or not true, but a true witness of God, then you will know that's who can pull you out them situations. Only those who've experienced that will know that. Okay. But when man pulls you up out of a situation, he was sent to you. He was sent to you. He ain't God. I'm not God. No, I'm an instrument. I'm a vehicle. I'm a student. I'm a worker for him to get you to know him for yourself. That's my job. Next, moving on. Let me get this out the way. Now, transformation from not knowing God to knowing God, being ignorant to being enlightened spiritually. That's what right thing philosophy does. Transformation is becoming spiritually enlightened, aware, conscious of your higher self, aka to know thyself. After my spiritual transformation, going on 8 years now, I became obsessed with right thinking philosophy, teaching it. And this is why I'm in front of this damn thing every day. Obsessed with it. We are unconscious spiritual beings until what? We become right thinking followers, and the goal is to make you conscious of your higher self and use your conscious, which is the heart, CONSCIENCE, conscious feelings, heart, internal conscience, CONSCIOUS is the mental aspect. Heart, mind, coherence has been there the whole time. So now we got fancy words to justify. I can use them to make the same point. Trust me, that's what knowledge of self will do for you. What's this? Oh, transformation, aka waking up, is what we are born to do. Have you done that? Are you woke yet? Follow me, I get you that. That's my purpose, and that's my goal for anybody who become a right thinker. That's what right thinker is, for you to know thyself. Let me wrap this up. Just like caterpillars are transformed into butterflies if they understand the process that they're supposed to do. I mean, if you don't get into that cocoon, if you won't make that metaphor, if you can't become spiritual enlightened, you're going to stay ignorant and your spirit will stay here. It won't go home, okay? Butterflies, that means get enlightened before you die. Why? Because the death judgment is going to critique and find out how you live. That's why doing and living right is present for now. It'll pay off later. Trust me. Last one. We are spiritual caterpillars who have to transform into what? Enlightened beings. That's right there in philosophy, aka knowing thyself is the goal for all of us. That's what right there teaches you. Be one and know thyself. I'll be back.